Sod off, you fuck. Me patience.
Huh, the windows are already barred. They certainly got to work quick on that.
You'll choke to death on 3 pounds of silver.
Honor in the fatherland.
How much for a herring?
Crown apiece.
Need to chat.
I'm all ears, Witcher.
Got something for you.
I love gifts, but I prefer to unwrap them in private. Oi, lads, mind the barrels. Going out for a jabber with Geralt. Come. Oh, that's better. Alright, what do you have for me?
Max Bersodi's house, as requested.
Ah, Horst must be livid.
He's not.
No?
He's not anything except dead. His brother, same thing. A few others too.
Stones you've got. But I didn't think you'd have a stomach for a massacre.
Situation got out of hand.
Oh, sounds familiar. There you are, drinking, puffing on henbane, and then, surprise, heads rolling across the floor. And none know how or why.
I'm not amused.
No. Why not?
'Cause unlike you, killing gives me no pleasure.
The Borsodis aren't worth your tears. Sons of bitches to a man.
Why did you need those papers?
To sink the Borsodis, naturally. You see, I learned of an interesting clause in old man Maximilian's will.
Oh.
It states that his sons must meet and shake hands in agreement at least once a year at Palanai. Failing that, the auction house must be auctioned off. The proceeds to go to Vilmerius Hospital.
Guess the old man sensed what might happen.
Horst and Ewald are gnawing on soil now. But thanks to these papers, their relatives won't get the auction house. Families lost it for good. And the hospital will have the funds it needs to treat orphans and beggars pro bono.
Awfully noble of you, showing so much concern for the needy.
I couldn't give a rat's ass about the needy. May they wither and disappear along with the city. I wanted one thing. Revenge.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to answer the other one. Ask the other one, I'm not actually sure what it even was.
The Borsodis. What's your gripe? Get kicked out of an auction?
Worse. They evicted me from my home. Are you really interested?
Wouldn't have asked if I wasn't.
Ha! Cheeky as ever. My family, they took on some debt. A poor investment in a sawmill. A bad crop one year. A lawsuit lost. You know how it is. When it rains, it pours. We needed but a few weeks to recover. But Horst Borsodi had acquired our debt. All of it. Demanded it be repaid immediately. I pleaded. I begged. I tore open my shirt on his threshold. Ugh. It was like talking to a wall. I went to the auction. Saw those perfumed pricks buy my father's sword. My mother's death mask. My brother's horse tack. Ah, Horst earned a pretty pile selling our mementos.
No surprise the animosity you feel for him.
That was but a start. My Iris's parents learned of my family's misfortune, and our betrothal was no more. They found her another suitor, one from beyond the sea. The anger I felt, I thought I'd gone mad. Went to the tavern, drank a round, a second, abroad, then had another tank. And then, I asked the wrong bloke for help.
He had a thing for his cousin, I'm guessing. Because She bears the same surname as him, but she never married him. So I'm guessing she must have been his cousin, because he's mentioning her parents. And, wow. You'd have obviously talked about it differently if it was his sister. So, yeah.
What happened then?
What happened then, Witcher, was one big stinking pile of shite. Well, why do you stand there? Do you need something still?
But I do find it funny about him, you know, ripping open his shirt, like, that's part of him begging. That's... that is funny. That is funny. I got that. Firstly, it's an interesting way of begging. Plus, I keep getting, you know, Shatner, you know, back when he was playing Kirk, I think he frequently ripped his top or whatever. I haven't rewatched TNG. No, that's TOS. Sorry, TOS. The acronyms, I'm getting them confused. But I haven't rewatched much TOS, so I've seen bits here and there, like through SFJ Bree and whatnot, and a bit on the TV, but little. I just don't really have the interest in the show. Maybe later on in life, but not now. So, but I do believe he ends up with a ripped top frequently enough. Yeah, I'm gonna stop now in a sec after I get the next task.
Third wish. Time you stated it.
A moment, Geralt. I must say to something. Then we'll chat. You there. Yank the herring out the barrel.
Come on, none of this dallying.
Who's this? Should I know him?
Now, ready to listen? Or do you still not give two shites about what I've got to say?
I'm ready. I'm listening.
Good. You'll return to your lord and tell him as follows. His demand was brazen. Hurt me to the core. For I was brought up to respect the sacred law of hospitality. And I shall not bend to an uncouth boor's dictum. Understood? I will pay him a visit shortly to test his willingness to adapt. So you ride off and announce me. And don't spare your horse. Got it?
Aye, got it.
Give this man a mount and leave him go. Come, Witcher. We must talk outside.
Okay, so he's just some random guy.
Theory believe one should only discuss important matters out of doors, with the gods as witnesses.
Huh. I don't know, the tattoos. I was just wondering if it was another member of his gang.
Barrel. What was that about?
On the way here, we stopped for nourishment at a tavern belonging to one Lord Dauntless. We enjoyed ourselves as one does at an inn, raucously. Our antics were not to the liking of this Dauntless. Sent a man to warn us that if we were ever to return, we would hang.
You burned the inn down?
I left ample compensation with the innkeep. But it seems the rapscallion neglected to mention this to his lord. But that's of little import. What matters is someone called me a whoreson and threatened to kill me. It was one of those threats that sound like an invitation. I intend to accept it. Return to those parts.
Helps that he's moral. Let's avoid that.
Fulfilled 2 of your wishes. Time I learned the third.
Confident, aren't you? Proud, sure of your strengths. Fearless.
Third task, if you don't mind.
Mutations.
they stripped you of emotion. Tell me, have you ever loved? I mean, truly loved?
Yeah, I've loved. Can we get to the matter at hand?
Perhaps instead we ought to sit down inside. Have a good chat over some fiery water.
We'll drink once the job's done.
I'm afraid that's impossible. Succeed and that's the end of me. Fail and you'll not be back.
Third wish. Still waiting to hear it.
Aye, aren't you stubborn? Fine. Listen well. I had a wife once. The day I saw her last, I gave her a rose. A violet one. Bring me that bloom. Wouldn't mind reminding myself what it looks like.
When was that? How long's it been? Flowers wilted and turned to dust by now.
You wished to hear a wish. Now you have. Fulfill it. I ride now to visit this Dauntless, but one of my men will remain here. He'll know how to find me. That is, of course, should you succeed.
Least you could tell me where your wife is.
In my old manor, east of Martin Foy's farmstead. I'd wish you Godspeed, but, well, you understand, I'm sure. Goodbye, Geralt.
Some level, I feel bad for the guy. Another level, he is a bastard. So I'm not feeling too bad for him. Wonder if we'll run into Shani again during the quests? Or do I have to go talk to her personally? Just wish I remembered which house was hers. That's locked. Not Shawnee's. Might be the house where we ran into the other guy's daughter, but not Shawnee. Locked. Question if Shawnee's will be locked at night. Or very early morning. Is this locked? Yes. I'm thinking that actually might be Shawnee's. Not Shawnee's. Not Shawnee's.
Honor in the fatherland.
Long as I'm not at sea. Right.
Okay, I swear that is Shawnee's house, and I just can't go back in.
Stay out of my way.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up. Shawnee's house, Witcher tree. Okay, it's actually a very different place. Yeah, it's actually elsewhere. I was confusing it with the, yeah, it's here. I was confusing it with the other place in my recollections. Oh well. Not this one. The one just below it. That's a bit of a tip off.
Long as I live.
Didn't mean to do that. Thankfully no came of it. You're just sitting on your bed?
Yes, Geralt.
Finally some time to talk. Tell me where you've been, what you've done since you left Vizima.
After our paths diverged? Well, the peace was brief, but I used it well. Went back to Oxenfurt, completed my doctorate, then I believe I did time in every field hospital and medic's tent north of the Yaruga.
Never could stand to be idle.
I'm not a witcher. Not likely to live 150 years. My time's much shorter, so I try to use every bit wisely.
Always did know what you wanted.
True. Nothing's changed in that sense.
Gotta say, wedding was a great idea. Rarely have a chance to rest, get away from it all. Did me good to do just that.
I'm a medic. I tend to know what I'm doing when I prescribe something.
Hope Vladimir's antics weren't too annoying.
Peculiar man. Ghost, true. But I found him likable. Wager he was a real hoot when he was alive.
Said you needed to think things over. Have you?
Yes. I decided you're incredibly sweet, but...
But we're better off keeping things as they were.
You're always going places, and they're likely to ship me off soon. Besides, we tried once, and you know how that worked out.
You're right. But promise to share a bottle of wine with me from time to time.
Of course. I tell you what, I'll keep one handy.
Now, been wanting to ask you something.
Ask me now.
Just curious. You ever play Gwent?
Oh, Geralt. Geralt. Of course I play. What else is there to do come evening when one's among soldiers? Come on, let's lay them out.
The line to on. You know, if there isn't... How do I even phrase this? I want to make a joke that, you know, if there isn't, the, you know, like... You know, if there isn't a dozen different comics with a rather alternative take on that line, I'll eat my hat. Oh no, that's just where my head is, damn it. Okay, I think I'll get rid of the weather cards. I'm merely a fan of them. I think I might just take them out of my deck altogether. Escorts will do just fine. We'll lead with a spy. Og von Everett. At least you know I don't lose my my head. At least you know. At least you now know I don't easily lose my head. Bit of a waste of that, but sure. Alright, I'm gonna play one more guy. Actually, let's first use the leader card. That would be annoying to go up against. Awesome for them, providing cover. Could just end this turn now. I'll have to win the... I know I've played this guy. Why did they pass that turn? Ow. Given that I know he still has a dragon, I'm kind of inclined away from most of my cards. At least for now. I thought I had 3 rezzers, not 2. Scorch. They still have the dragon and one other card. I'm not sure if it's one I've already seen. The medic, they just put down. I do believe I've seen, that was the other one I'd seen. So they can't pass a turn. You gotta play something each turn. And I can't do this yet. Fine. I've lost.
You lost. Ma, you actually stink at this. Worse than an enema tube, in fact.
Need to demand satisfaction for that insult. We'll have to play again. See you later.
Ow. It stings. New moon armor. Full set of it. Wish it would auto-equip what I was wearing previously. It's also oddly marked all my stuff as new.